If you're wondering how to move from that great idea to action and a functional business, welcome to The Edge. This is a show that celebrates bold thinkers, innovators, and entrepreneurs shaping the future of business in Nigeria and beyond. My name is Tochio Puta, and today we're stepping into the world where style meets strategy. Our guest today is proving what it means to be a fashion entrepreneur. From founding Movers Models Management to creating the Walk Fashion Show and the Digital Movie Stars Awards, this young man is evidence that creativity and business can actually walk the same runway. Join me as I introduce to you the man turning his fashion vision into an empire, Emmanuel Kalu.
What made me go into the space was an idea that started in Lagos. So I was involved in video vixen first, whereby bringing in models as a video vixen for artists, different artists for their music video. And at that point, it wasn't a modeling agency. So just something that I was doing. I scout for faces, I pitched them to directors for video shoots. That was the whole idea behind it. It wasn't a structure, it was just something I was doing. Then I was on set a couple of times while the shoot was going on, and the way some of these models were being treated was not wasn't okay by me. And at that point, I could only speak as a middleman perspective, but not as a management, because there was no housing that was protecting them. I was just looking for and giving. So that bettered the idea of having to build a structure that brings these models into the company, train them properly, then before putting them out there. So that's what bettered the idea of the Movers Model Management. So it wasn't really out of passion. It was out of making sure that the models were cared for, properly trained, and were getting the right jobs that they needed. Telling that people don't really know. So modeling is vast. We have the commercial model, we have the high fashion model, we have the billboard models, we have the hand models. So the world of modeling is very vast. So that's what brought me to the idea of running a company that serves as a modeling agency and management. The first edition of the Walk Fashion Show, which was 6 years ago, was held in the office space here in Abuja. So it was a gathering of like 50 people. And the idea was to hold a fashion show that the models and their family get to connect. So we wanted to create a community whereby people don't just come and watch a fashion event and go. We wanted to create a fashion show whereby the guests are part of the story of the event. So we have a fashion show whereby the models are walking the runway. The people on the audience seat are their family, their friends, people that don't literally know most times that this is what they do. So we had a situation at the first event whereby a model was walking and the mother was sitting down there. The mother literally stood up from the chair, walked out on stage to hug the son, because she has never seen him in that space, and she was so happy that this is what this boy is doing. So that moment alone is like the core value of what we're trying to project out there. It goes beyond just having a fashion event. It's a story that connects all of us together.
From building an entire ecosystem around Fashion Runway to model management and even entertainment, that's vision in motion. We'll take a quick break now to bring you Money Minute. Let's do a little breakdown on how fashion entrepreneurs can actually make profit beyond the runway. That's a solid breakdown. Fashion may start with a flair, but it survives on finance. Every dream has its learning curve. Now, the fashion business looks glamorous from the outside, but behind the scenes, it's a serious hustle. Let's talk about what it really takes to stay on top of the grind.
What has kept it steady for over the years and from the very first edition to this edition is creating a fashion environment that not only promotes the designer's apparel, connecting them to the audience, to the social platform, to the guests, but creating an environment that every sphere of creativity gets to shine. We have the models, we have the stylists, we have the makeup artists, we have the photographers, we have the videographers, we have the hosts. So it's made up of a whole, we like to call it family. So what has kept us steady over the year is the idea and the zeal to keep on promoting a fashion show that tells the excellence we carry here in Abuja. And what has kept us going is that we are looking at promoting this so well in the city of Abuja that the excellence it carries spread around other spheres and people push up to do something like what we are doing or even better. Fashion is not just a one space sector. Everybody is into fashion, directly or indirectly. You wear clothes, you wear apparel, you dress up. You pick up a dress, you wear it, you're like, no, not this one today. Then you change to something else that fits into your mood or fits into the character you're trying to tell, right? So even as an actor or as a creative, you see, if you check out their platforms or check out their pages, you see they're wearing different kinds of creative outfits, nice outfits. In fact, designers now most times reach out to these people to wear the apparels and take pictures for them. So fashion can be connected to anything. So it's not just limited to the runway fashion shows. So it can be connected to anything. So bringing the fashion and the movie together is a perfect blend because you can't even have a movie premiere without bringing fashion. If you check all the movie premiere, what people are looking at, what are they wearing? Who are they wearing? So you can't take that fashion out of the movie. So it's a combined marriage. A combined marriage. So that's why we decided to premiere the Digital Movie Stars Award in the fashion show. So we having this first edition this year is not the first time the idea has come to our mind or it's just something we thought of now and say let's do it now. So it has been building up. But it takes time, when you have an idea, it takes time to go through the size of it and know, how can we make this idea come to life in a very beautiful way. So most of the events we've had have been self-funded. So trying to source for funding for projects in the fashion space, you get a lot of no. In fact, you have to get used to hearing no and, okay, we'll get back to you kind of statements. But we have the opportunity to have some sponsors and partners come in the previous years, but it's still a major concern when it comes to funding. And having to manage human beings is literally one of the most difficult jobs ever. We have had situations of dealing with models parents, dealing with models guardian, dealing with visa, dealing with venue, because you pay for a venue, then few weeks to your dates, they'll tell you that someone has paid higher fee for your venue space. So you have to go and start looking for venue because you paid for a venue, but you didn't pay 100%, so you made a part payment. So someone comes and makes a full payment, they'll tell you they're returning your money. So imagine putting out flyers out there, so you have to go and start retracting. So there have been a lot of challenges that we faced while starting, not like now anymore. Having models on the backstage ready for the show, and you see a parent come backstage and drags the model that the model is not working the show and the model is meant to go up and the model is not working the show. So now you have to be doing family consultation backstage minutes before, so we have had to deal with so many things, but um, we have built a what will I call it now? A system that addresses that before the shows and before the booking. So most times, even before we sign the model, we reach out to your parents now. So your parents have to be in in the know of what you're doing. So we have built systems that handles that. But earlier it was a whole lot, getting rejected, trying to start a partnership with brands, getting duped. So we reach out to brands and your in person will tell you, oh, okay, sorry, nothing to be done. Then it calls you back and like, oh, okay, they say they're not doing anything for you, but they would like to come. Then after the event, you tell, okay, come and watch the show then to experience the event. Then after the event, they are seeing the agency telling you, oh, hope the money we gave you was used. Which money? Then we found out that the middle person collected funds, we didn't get anything then. So we have had to deal with it. It's been a whole roller coaster, and it's still part of the things we deal with every time, but it's way better now.
Funding, logistics, managing talent, that's definitely a lot of pressure, especially in the fast-moving industry. That's the grind, long nights, big dreams, and the discipline to keep showing up. Well, let's bring you our edge quote for today, that one line that captures today's episode. Welcome back. This is Still the Edge. Truly, fashion isn't just about clothes. It's about confidence, culture, and courage. The Nigerian fashion scene is constantly buzzing, but every player has that one uniqueness that sets them apart. For movers and the walk, here is their edge factor.
So there's something people should understand. What fuels you, right? What drives you can also burn you out. So the zeal, the energy can sometimes be tiring. So what keeps me going is the end product of what I want to achieve. So I wasn't looking at just doing a show. As I said, I wanted to create something that lasts for a very long time. So whenever I feel down or I feel like this is not going to work, I always remind myself that this is not just this show. Remember, I already have plan for my 10th edition. And I tell myself, you can't disappoint yourself. So that having that in mind helps you. So if you can build a structure for what you really want, seeing beyond what you are seeing now, it helps because what you see now can limit you. And in terms of funding, what I did at the beginning was I looked out for people that were willing to take the risk with me. So, like the first edition, as I mentioned, that was not more than this space. So that space now was just an office space, wasn't paid for. So it might not be. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be selling out the quality halls, but at that point, I couldn't fund it. So what I would say is that there's always that one person that will tell you, okay, do you know what? This is my office space. Do something with it. So now in that office space, we didn't create the show like it was an office space. We created this like we were at Paris. We are the Milan fashion show. So that first edition that we did there led us to have a second edition at another space that we didn't pay for again. It's okay to start from where you are, but that shouldn't be it. Your dream of what you want to achieve should be like your driving force. What's when you wake up, what is that thing that pushes you going, right? And the idea of knowing that there are people that are depending on me, this thing must go on. So it goes beyond just me. Sometimes it's tiring, sometimes it's weakling. So, but when you have the idea of the end product in mind, so it just keeps you pushing. When you start a business, it's okay to be the one doing everything because you can't afford to employ people. But as your business grows, even though it's like one step, it's always important you get somebody that can handle something for you. So When I started, there was nothing like profit. So, so I was the one doing everything myself. But the business grew a little bit, so I could afford to pay employ staff and pay the person those 10,000, 20,000. Oh, your job is just help me be sending this message, help me be doing this. It reduces the stress, right? As a founder, mostly your job is to be a visionary. So if I'm doing the visionary, doing the leadership, doing the management, doing everything, it will be wailing on me. So what I did was, as I was growing, I was getting team members, little bit team members, handle this one, handle that one. But there's a mistake I made earlier when I started that I learned from. I think that other people can learn from it. So when I started, I got someone that I made like in charge of everything. So that's one mistake you never do. You don't give somebody so much power. When you are giving roles to people, spread it out. So you handle this call, you handle this, you handle this. So it separates the power instead of giving one person that so much power to take charge. So while I was growing, I was able to like spread the work a little bit so I could focus on other things. Many years ago, there was a time that someone reached out to us and like, oh, we need your models, right? And we need like 10 of them. I was very happy. I danced. So we negotiated the fee and everything was all right. And the place was really quite a distance. So I borrowed money, sorted out logistics to get these 10 models to the venue. We get to the venue, the show is done. Because the agreement was immediately after the show, we get paid. The man goes, I'm giving you people platform. What do you mean by payments? There's been a lot of moments that we feel like, oh, this is it. When you lose money, we have had situation whereby we run the event, we run into debt. Do you understand? Everybody's happy, everybody's going home happy, but we're in serious debt. So there's just been a lot that, the more you grow, the more you learn. One thing we try to thrive on is how we make people feel, from the show announcements to the show flyers to the event to the setup. So we have always tried to communicate that feeling to the people instead of just words. And staying ahead and staying with the whole new trend, you should be open to new things. So we're always open to new things like creative ideas or what's happening right now. Are they mixing runway with dance? Are they having a stronger look? Are they having a thicker look? Because one thing that we told ourselves we're going to do, we're among like the first people that started here, was the inclusivity. So we had plus size models on the runway. We had people living with disabilities on the runway. Yes, so that feeling we live with them is one of the most important things that we try to do every year. And we have had situations whereby we partner with like some NGOs, went into the slum, right? We got people that had passion when it comes to fashion designing. Then we trained them in the arts. They created a masterpiece and they got to showcase that masterpiece on the runway. We always every year try to do something different for the community, for the people around to just get them involved in the show.
A solid bridge that connects modeling, fashion, and entertainment. That's smart business and smart branding. We'll take a break now, but more to come on The Edge. Impressive numbers. This is proof that creativity and structure can truly coexist. Emmanuel has truly built quite a brand story. Truth is, we know visionaries never stop dreaming. So what's next for Emmanuel and Movers? More shows, global collaborations, or even taking the world? We'll find out in our concluding conversation with Emmanuel.
What gives us an edge is the fact that it's not just bring your clothes and showcase on the runway. Every year, we have a story we want the people to hear. And when we tell you a theme of what we're trying to do for the year, we stick to it. We try to make sure that whatever we are doing, we put it out there for people to see. People will only know you exist when they see what you can do. So we are not a brand that say, oh, it's when you reach out to us, you know what we do. No, we make noise on social media. We make noise on all platforms. We put it out there, and we are very intentional what we put out there to the public. We are really working towards scouting more faces and then getting them placed to the international platforms, getting them placed international agencies, working um, the Dior, the Chanel, so that's one thing that we are working on, expansion in different sectors, in different phases. So we have models that we have scouted that are under development right now. We are looking at to place with these agencies. So yeah, we are looking at building more, building more, expanding more, and also here in Nigeria, here in the country, establishing more models to thrive in the modeling space. And for the work fashion show, we're looking at it just not being just a fashion show. We're trying to grow into a global fashion event that goes beyond just having a fashion show. So expanding to the master classes, to the breakout section, trying to build a system that goes beyond fashion, supporting the brands in different aspects to also help them grow and building a fashion show that mostly outlives me. When you think about me, when you think about the brand, so one of the things I would like for you to remember is excellence. So I would like for you to have a positive experience, and that whenever you think about modeling or booking models or needing a model, no, go to movers. They deliver, they are professional, That's like the words I would like to be associated with the brand. And if you want to go to a fashion show, go to the work fashion show.
I love it. Thinking global, but still rooted in Nigerian creativity. That's exactly the kind of ambition that we celebrate here. Edge Tips is up next, a gift for someone with a creative idea but afraid to start.
The edge of being a fashion entrepreneur is to turn creativity into impact. So if you're going to stay and add value, you have to know how to turn that idea into an economic value, meet a need. Because as long as you are solving a need, you won't run out of money. The most important part is staying true to yourself.
Truly inspiring, powerful, and straight from experience. That's your Edge Tip for today. Before we go, here is how to connect with us. The fashion industry is more than beauty, and through the grind to the glamour, Emmanuel Kalu proves that it's as much a business. It's about building brands, empowering talent, and walking the talk of creativity. Here is where the edge ends for today, but join me next time for another inspiring story of vision, courage, and innovation. My name is Tochio Puta. Stay inspired, stay bold, stay on the edge.